Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. The simple question that was being discussed here was, did Chamisa lie when he said he had plugged all the vote rigging loopholes to con people to participate in the 2023 elections? This issue has been discussed from all possible angles. And one would have thought that by now, everyone would agree that Chamisa did indeed lie. But you'll be surprised. Chamisa, when he told that lie, nearly 2 million Zimbabweans believed him and they participated in the 2023 elections. And if the truth be told, I think an equal number in the diaspora who could not go to Zimbabwe to participate in those elections believed him and supported him. And so many people did believe that idiotic lie. It was an idiotic lie. You cannot say you've plugged the vote rigging loopholes when you don't even have something as basic as the verified voters roll. SADC and the AU election observers dismissed Zimbabwe's election as flawed and illegal because we failed to meet our own constitutional requirements, electoral law, and even SADC's own guidelines. So there can be no debate anymore that the elections were flawed and Zanu PF rigged those elections. Indeed, Chamisa himself has accepted that Zanu PF rigged the elections. So we go back to the question again. Did Chamisa lie then when he said he had plugged the vote rigging loopholes? You'd be surprised how some people agonize over that. They simply cannot accept that, yes, Chamisa lied because of their personality cult mentality. To them, Chamisa is a demigod who can do no wrong. And for them to accept that he had lied to them is unthinkable. The consequences of their believing in his lies are so devastating for the country. It was the participation of the people in their millions in those elections that forced SADC and the AU to do nothing about denying Zanu PF legitimacy. If millions of Zimbabweans are happy to participate in a flawed electoral process, it is not for SADC and the AU to say, no, we will still deny you political legitimacy. So why these people cannot see that it is in their own interest to make sure that we have free, fair, and credible elections? It is in their own interest to admit it, yes, okay, we made a mistake in believing Chamisa's lies and allow the nation to move on. Here is an individual who was trying to answer to that one. Besides looking at Chamisa's flaws, if you take in your own time to analyze what happened before the elections, during the elections, and after the elections, the role of the military, FARS, etc., etc., you say to yourself, what has that got to do with it? We can't keep on bringing in a simple question where we've got all the answers, all the evidence relating to it. And when you're forced to make a decision, you bring in other things, unrelated, demographic distribution, whether they were urban voters or rural voters. What has that got to do with it? Just because you don't want to admit that Chamisa lied to you. No wonder we are a failed state. It's now 45 years and counting since independence in this day and age. And we are still failing to hold free, fair, and credible elections. Because millions of Zimbabweans out there do not even have the foggiest idea what constitutes free, fair, and credible elections. And it is because of that ignorance that people like Chamisa are exploiting it. Before the GNU of 2008 to 2018, everyone believed in let's implement the democratic reforms, the democratic changes to stop Zanu PF rigging the elections. During the GNU itself was the golden opportunity to implement those reforms. Chamisa and company sold out, failed to implement even one reform. And instead of admitting their failure, they turned around and said, oh, we don't need reforms. We have devised ways of winning rigged elections. So the post-2018 period has been dominated by this mentality that the opposition can still win elections with not even a one token reform implemented. And millions believed it. And to add to that persuasion, people like Chamisa would come up and say, I've devised ways of stopping Zanu PF rigging the elections. I've plugged all the vote rigging loopholes. And then the next minute he admits that Zanu PF rigged. And they, the people, cannot reconcile the reality. They ignore the facts because of their mentality. It doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is, if it has taken us 45 years and we still have no clue what constitutes free, fair, and credible elections, then we are doomed. Because we'll never break this cycle of rigged elections and bad governance. If we believe we can win rigged elections, we'll keep on participating in these flawed elections and giving Zanu PF legitimacy. If we do not even have the common sense to admit that Chamisa lied to us, this is a simple question. Did Chamisa lie to us? over plugging the vote tracking loopholes, and why anyone should agonize over that beggars belief. But by agonizing over it, refusing to answer it, it only confirms that we've got millions of our own people there. We've got this personality cult mentality to whom facts and reality count for nothing. Their allegiance is to Chamisa, not facts. And so Chamisa has announced that he's coming back. And no doubt he's going to take advantage of the personality cult mentality. Do a day's work to convince his followers that he's going to win the next elections. There's devised ways. It's high time this change, and he's going to deliver that change. And they will believe him, participate in the flawed elections in their millions, and give Zanu PF legitimacy. We are our own worst enemy. And if we don't learn that, unfortunately, we are not getting out of this hellhole we are in. The case of rigged elections and bad governance is within our reach. We can solve it. But we have got to answer the question, did Chamisa lie to us or not? And they're not being smart by avoiding answering it. They're only compounding the situation. Because make no mistake about it, Chamisa is taking advantage of that weakness to con people to participate again in flawed elections. Think about it. Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.